Usually she would have made she would have sold this for 60K, making 30K. That's a normal kind of deal she would have done. But in this case, because she split it in 10 deals, she sold it for $330,000 and made $300,000 on the deal.
This podcast episode is brought to you by Land Caller. Land cold calling designed by land investors for land investors. Go to landcaller.com for more information.
So entitlements is that you took this road and took this 2-acre parcel, and as it is, the property is zoned for, it's residential and it's zoned for, I don't know, you being able to put like 5 houses on it. Okay. So as it is, therefore, it might be worth $300,000, $300,000 or $400,000. Because if the houses in the neighborhood are worth $400,000, you can put 5 houses on it. That means like a $400,000 lot. It's $80,000 a lot. That's about it. So it's a good deal. So $400,000, but that's market value. So if somebody wants $400,000 for this lot, then you can put 5 houses on there. Is that a deal? No, because it's market value. But what if you could convince the county or the city to let you instead put on that lot, instead of 5 houses, what if you could put instead 82 townhomes or condos? Would that work? Yeah. So here's the thing, you don't go and bring a bulldozer in and start digging ground up. You go to the city and say like, hey, city, I got this deal here. What would you like to see here? We would love to do something more with this land. What would you like to see? Are you open to the idea of putting a condo complex or an apartment complex on here? And the city might say, yeah, we want to grow. We understand there's a lot of growth coming. We need some higher density things here. Yeah, we're open to that. Okay, good. So then you go, you put on a contract for $400,000 with the seller. And this is now PhD level land business, okay? This is not beginners kind of things unless you already have done a bunch of deals. Now that process might take you 18 months and cost you $100,000. But once it's approved for 82 townhomes or 82 condos, that piece of land is worth $4 million. Just by getting it approved. And in that moment, you sell it to a builder, and the builder gets a building permit and starts breaking ground the next day and takes the thing, as it's called, vertical. It goes up. Now that is the higher level of land investing. It's not land flipping, but this is like when you come across deals like that, you want to be in an environment where there's people that you can say, hey, what is this deal? And this is exactly what happens. One of our coaching students recently put a deal into one of our Facebook groups. It's like, hey, we got this deal going. This looks, any idea what I can do with that? I saw it. I texted Daryl. Daryl gave them their contact information. Daryl texted them. They're joint venturing on a multi-million-dollar deal right now. Right? Now, by the way, on that deal, I'm making nothing. But what I am getting is that student to success. And that's what matters. Right? That's what matters. So this is the key here. So now this is what entitlement is. It's like really, it's like the PhD level of land deals. Because in that kind of deal, now you get it on a contract for $400,000. By the way, can you now negotiate? Again, forget if this is beginning stuff. Forget about it. Today's not about beginning stuff. Today's a little bit more advanced things. Okay, you guys follow me on that? So if this is too much, just think about what we talked about yesterday and this morning. Just like get the deal for 5 and sell it for 20. Get a deal for 10, sell it for 30. Do some seller financing and focus on that. Put the blinders on, because what will happen is once you've done 10 or 20 of those deals, the blinders will come off anyway, because you're going to have so much confidence in yourself and so much knowledge that all of a sudden you're like, ooh, what was that? Oh, let me look into that. And all of a sudden you're able to do those things. Okay? But this is the thing. So with that deal, $400,000, do you have to pay the seller $400,000? No. You tell the seller, listen, dude, here's the thing. I pay you $400,000 if you allow me to take it to the entitlement process. And as a matter of fact, if it succeeds, I'll pay you an extra $200,000 at the end. How about that? The seller might say, yeah, of course. Condition is, of course, I can't close right now. It's going to take 12 to 18 months. But if you have it, owned it already for 25 years, what's an extra 18 months? Well, okay, makes sense. So you go through the process, and at the end, the seller gets actually above market for the deal. But you're making $3 million on the deal or $3.5 million on the deal. And actually on Daryl's deal, he said like he made some mistakes because he should have made $3 million and he only made $1 million. Can we all get a combined "aw" for him? Right? There we go. So yeah, that's, yes, go ahead.
Is entitlements the same as rezoning or different?
Is entitlements the same as rezoning? No, it's not the same as rezoning, but sometimes entitlement might require rezoning. So it could be a part of that process. Right? So sometimes in order to get it done, you need to get the city approval that you can actually that you can rezone it, that you're allowed to rezone it. Because if it's zoned commercial and you want to put residential properties on there, it won't allow it, and then you have to go through that process first, which makes, in that case, might make it even longer to get through. Sorry, my watch wristband is almost falling away here. And so, but it's not the same, but it could be part of it. Okay? All right. So that's thing. Another thing you can do, and that's actually something much simpler, is you can do also land splitting. Land splitting. Like one of our coaches, Ellie, has done a deal one time. I'm going to put this up here. Like if you guys hopefully see this here. Like, can you see it somewhat? And you guys see it somewhat? Let me put it a little bit more to the front. So she had done a deal, very simple. A road, the median in the road, and she got a piece of land that was this. Typically, she would have taken that piece of land and wholesaled it and would have made $30,000. I don't know what she got another contract for. Something like $30,000, would have sold it for $60,000, made it $30,000. But because it wasn't her first rodeo, because she's a master coach, she's done already, I don't know, 100, 150, 200 deals or something like that, whatever number it is. She looked at that and said like, there's another play to play here, because her confidence is up, her capability is up, like the 4 C's, that's why I mentioned that. She's like, why don't I buy this deal? So she actually, from her profits, took $30,000, bought this property for $30,000. She split it into 10 different lots across the street, like 10 different lots along here, and then sold those. Usually she would have sold this for $60K, making $30K. That's a normal kind of deal she would have done. But in this case, because she split it in 10 deals, she sold it for $330,000 and made $300,000 on the deal. Right? Now what did it take? Go to the city, ask them what does it take to split this. Right? And then she just did the splits, and I think that was in Texas, where it's sometimes in different areas of Texas it's more simple. Some states, you try to do it in California, they're probably going to make you go through a million hoops, because in California they make you go through everything for a million hoops. But here that was fairly simple. Or a deal that Michelle and I have done many, many times, and this is how it's our favorite deal. So there's a road here, in the median, and there's another road over here. And there might be dirt roads, might be paved roads, whatever it is. And we got our hands on a nice 40-acre parcel right here. So this 40-acre parcel in a rural area with dirt roads around it. We got that, no pun intended, dirt cheap. Let's say we got that deal for $5,000. $5,000, nice little, you can do this at 10 acres, 20 acres, 40 acres, doesn't matter. So what we did then, and it's important that it's on 2 roads, because that makes the deal much, much easier. So we constantly look out when we get a large property on 2 roads, that's what we like to do. Particularly in a state like Arizona, because in Arizona you can split rural land up to 5 times without having to do as much as getting a permit from the city, from the county, which costs $400 and takes 6 weeks to get. So what happens is, in this case what we did is we split it in half, and then we split this and this. So now that became how many lots? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's a 5 split. And the other condition in Arizona is in the rural areas that the remaining lot needs to be at least 1 acre in size. Well, is that the case here? We took 40 acres, we took it into 20 acres, and then 5, 5, 5, 5. So that applies. It's all above 5 acres. So great, so we did that, we drew up, we created new legal descriptions, which in many cases is easy, otherwise the title company can help you with it. And then we submitted that to the county, paid a $400 fee, 6 weeks later got it approved, and we just split these lots for $400. That's it. Now before that we had to buy it first. That's the thing. Before you split it, you want to buy it. So we spent $5,000 on the lot first. So we did buy it first, and then we split it. So we owned it for 6 weeks, then we had it split. Then what we did, so let's first say, normally this lot, this property would have been worth market value, let's say $35,000. There's a lot of cheap 40-acre parcels in Arizona. So we could have taken that thing and just simply as a $35,000, we could have sold the 40 acres probably for $25K cash very quickly, which would have made us a $20,000 profit, okay? That would have been the standard kind of deal. But instead, what I mentioned yesterday, that once people have enough land, more land isn't that much more important to them. So if you have 20 acres, we were able to sell the 20 acres for $20,000. So we made $15,000 profit on here. So we only made $5,000 less in profit on the 20 acres than we would have made on the 40 acres. And then we've taken every one of these little lots here and sold it for something like, different kind of deals, for something like 10K, 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 10K with seller financing. With like $1,000 or $2,000 down and monthly payments of $200 a month for like 10 years. And now, guess what? You get $2,400 a month from here for 10 years. That's $24,000, $24,000, $24,000, $24,000. That's $96,000 plus $15,000. That's an $106,000, that's $111,000 profit. And an $800 a month cash flow while that's going on. Is that good? Now also, if I get $2,000 down, it's 2,468 plus 15. I have $23,000 cash in my pocket, which is actually more than I would have had cash in my pocket if I wholesaled it. So I actually have more cash in my pocket and have $800 a month coming in for the next 10 years on that deal. And instead of making 20 grand, I'm at $111,000. Is that a good strategy? Right? Right, so when you come across deals like that, reach out. If you're in our coaching program, reach out to our coaches because they know how to do this. They know how to do these things, and they can help you along with that. And if for any reason they have not done that or not seen that before, they reach out. As a coaches, we have a coaching group. We have a mastermind group that if everyone ever on one of our our master coaches sees something that they haven't seen before, they plug it in there. Within 5 minutes, one of the other coaches responds that they have seen that before and what the answer is, and you get your answers back, because you don't just get coached by one coach, you essentially get coached by our entire team of coaches. Because we obsess over you guys' success. Is that cool or what, guys? Right? Instead of making 20, you make 111, and of the 111, you have actually $23,000 in cash in the bank. So this is better in cash, and better in profits, and better in and better in cash flow from these deals. Like, this is a beautiful model, and again, if you do this in the right states, in some states it takes a little bit more effort to split them, but in states like Arizona, like Texas and so on, there is really easy ways to split lots that take very little effort. It's done in a few weeks, and you can literally 5x, more than 5x your profits. Laura, you have something? You have a question? Okay, let's wait for the microphone here.
Jeff, does splitting needs any kind of marketing and training, or can all that be done on paper?
This is a great question. Does this need to mean, does it mean I need a new survey? If you do it in Texas, you will need surveys. Texas are like survey addicted. Like, they need surveys for everything all the time. Arizona don't need a survey. All you need is a new legal description for it, and legal descriptions can be very, very simply. You just take the old legal description, and you know what this legal description is? It's the north half of the old legal description. Right? And this one is the west half of the southwest quarter of the old legal description. So you basically just geographically figure out where that is, and then use the old legal description and put that up front. You have a new legal description. It can be done once you understand how legal descriptions work, which again is something you learn over time. This is like, I'm opening Pandora's box here for you guys, to just like for you to understand that what you're entering is a universe of land opportunity, that where the land flipping is the beautiful part that you start out with. You make the first few $100,000 or millions or whatever it is, but then behind that there's an entire there's an entire plethora of different things you can do to make gazillions of money with land. And all of it is without tenants, toilets, and termites. All of it is without dealing with contractors and all this kind of stuff.